WavyOcho. I'm gonna react to how J. Cole divided the hip hop world.
I gotta keep it 100.
They don't think you can do it. They look at you and all they see is a man standing.
Oh damn, J. Cole, when he was a baby, bro. It was J. Cole. He had no teeth in the front.
In front of a mountain that's too big to scale. Now quietly in the back of their minds, there's a tiny thought that wonders how far you can actually go with this. The answer to that question, my boy, is up to you.
J. Cole is one of the greatest rappers of all time. And with that, he carries a legacy that stretches out over generations of hip-hop in an era where he was one of the most successful and impactful rappers. However, for whatever reason, J. Cole's legacy is not the most respected, especially because there's a large portion of hip-hop fans who will die on the hill that J. Cole is a boring rapper.
People have different tastes, though. You feel me? I like J. Cole. I think his music is valid. You feel me? But there's gonna be some people that just don't jack J. Cole. You feel me? They don't. It's not their cup of tea of hip hop, of music.
And overrated beyond belief. And because of that, J. Cole has one of the weirder legacies in all of hip-hop. As despite having the resume of an all-time great, it seems like a lot of people don't put him in the conversations that a Kendrick Lamar or a Drake would be in. And all of this is to say that as a community, regardless of where we stand on the J. Cole fence, we should start appreciating him more. Because the whole disrespecting J. Cole thing has gone too far at this point.
Ain't got no time and no patience unless they be making up who they debating is better. Let's face it, he one of the greatest. No Bill Cosby shit with the niggas is sleeping in the
J. Cole's pursuit for hip-hop greatness began pretty early onto his life, and by the time he reached adult age, he was ready to chase it by any means necessary. However, if we were to pinpoint the event that began J. Cole's rise to fame, we would have to go back to 2007.
I had a shirt that said "Produced for Jay-Z or Die Trying." I was ready.
Wow.
Damn, he was ready. He was ready, bro. He was determined. It seemed like he was determined to work for Jay-Z to do whatever it takes to get to the music business. You feel me? Hey, do what you gotta do.
It says produced with Jay-Z or Die Trying. Do you have that shirt still?
Yes.
Jay-Z was in the middle of recording sessions for his next studio album. However, waiting for him outside of the studio was a young J. Cole, with his main goal being to hand Jay-Z a copy of his beat CD. However, despite the hopes of a young J. Cole, Jay-Z did not rock with that.
I looked at it and he was like, "I don't want this shit."
Oh, not nice.
As the story goes though, J. Cole would use this story to fuel his first official mixtape, The Come Up.
Straight out the feeling, I made it like a villain, I'm hating.
Not gonna lie, I cannot find a high quality version of this tape, but from what I hear, Cole's style is a bit amateur. Also, it's kind of outdated in a way, but The Come Up would serve as a foundation for Cole's journey in hip-hop. But his second mixtape is miles better.
Wanna know the formula for success? Shit, but I studied for this.
Released 2 years after The Come Up, the warm-up was a massive improvement. Cleaner beats, better flows, better punchlines. The warm-up was just better. And that is reflected on the lead single for the tape, Lights Please.
Lights please, turn off the lights.
The song received massive praise from those who had the chance to hear it, including the guy who had rejected Cole a few years prior, as Jay-Z got wind of the track and liked it enough to meet J. Cole.
Damn, now Jay-Z is impressed though.
That meeting with Jay-Z would change Cole's life.
Get a call one Monday morning and it's just like, yo, you have a meeting today that you didn't know about, and my heart dropped. It's like, this is it, you know, like, so I had to rush from Long Island out to the city.
As not only did it lead to him getting signed by Hov himself, but it also led to him featuring on Jay-Z's The Blueprint 3. This being Cole's first breakthrough into the hip-hop scene on a big scale meant that he'd be seen in a lot of places before he released his next project, with many recognizing the potential that Cole brought to the table, which made his next mixtape.
Did something to make Jay-Z fuck with him.
Friday Night Lights, a highly anticipated mixtape amongst hip-hop fans. that the release of Friday Night Lights would gain Cole the respect that he massively craved from the scene, but that wasn't exactly the case. Mainly because this mixtape was actually J. Cole's idea for a debut album. However though, the label didn't think this was such a good idea. Mainly because they thought that Friday Night Lights would not sell as an album. But I mean, if it was his debut studio album, it would have been a pretty good one. But you know, I can see why this wouldn't sell. This tape would finalize Cole's journey in DatPiff.com, as from here on out, studio albums became the main focus of J. Cole. Cole World, the Sideline Story, released onto the world on September 27th, 2011.
We always do it this time. Blowing your mind. Hey, dummy, there's no accident. All of this was designed.
It would be a highly successful album, all things considered, with the album selling more than 200,000 copies first week. Of course, the success of the record was mostly felt in the way of its lead single, Work Out. Peaking in at number 13 on Billboard's Hot 100, Workout was a massive hit for somebody like J. Cole, especially considering he was still establishing himself on the mainstream side of things, and although the song had massive success, Cole still didn't have the respect of many of the people he wanted respect from. Or at least he didn't have the respect of one of his idols growing up, Nas. There were a lot of people that hated the song Work Out, and considering one of those people was Nas, J. Cole felt bummed out, which he would explain on Nas down. A song detailing his fandom for Nas and how much he looked up to him growing up and how disappointed he felt on himself when he heard the words that he had let Nas down. Thankfully though, Nas cleared up the situation and we got a happy ending out of this one. From then on out, it felt like J. Cole had especially gained the respect of the older generation of hip-hop. However, as time went on and hip-hop evolved, it seemed like J. Cole got less and less love from young hip-hop fans, especially with the rise of SoundCloud rappers. Maybe it was lyrical content on Cole's side of things, considering he was such a fan of the art of hip-hop, or perhaps it was the younger generation's mindset when it came to Cole's preachiness.
Especially the immature 8-week rappers, lil whatever, just another short bus rapper.
But for whatever reason, both parties did not respect each other. And well, the difference between the two parties eventually came to the spotlight with the release of 1985.
1985, I arrived. 33
In the track, J. Cole describes the fall-off of many of the young generation that came up through SoundCloud. And in fact, he offered some advice. For that generation. Whether they took it or not, I'm not sure, but for whatever reason, most people highlighted Lil Pump as the target for this. And to be fair, what J. Cole rapped about is basically what ended up happening to Lil Pump. But still though, the narrative surrounding J. Cole was that he was a hater. He was an old head, and he didn't respect the new wave of hip-hop. However though, J. Cole would prove that that wasn't entirely the case. At the time of this song's release, a lot of people were shocked to see both rappers on one track, especially with 21 Savage being best known for a song like Bank Account. It was mutually beneficial in that it not only gained the respect from a younger generation on Cole's side, it also helped 21 Savage be looked at as a more mature artist.
How many lawyers you got alive? How many times you got shot?
In more recent years, Cole has collaborated with all types of rappers, from ones that you'd expect in a Benny the Butcher to ones that you really wouldn't, in like a Lil Baby type thing. And with that, it seems like a younger generation of rap artists do appreciate J. Cole. However, there's still one other aspect of hip-hop that makes Cole's legacy divisive, which is mainly the respect in the eyes of the fans. Honestly, this one is hard to track down. I can't give you a specific reason for why fans don't respect J. Cole as much as they do other artists. A lot of people might say that it's the lack of quality in his music, but I'm here to say that I really don't think so. Again, it could be his music. So if you're asking what actually gives, I think it's rather a simple concept. My best guess is that his beef with Kanye, as well as the constant comparison to Kendrick and Drake, led tons of people to hate on J. Cole. Not even because of his music, as much as to prove that their favorite rapper is better than him. It's kind of like how LeBron and MJ fans tear into each other's greatness for some reason. Well, actually, the reason being that they want their favorite player to be considered the greatest of all time. I think the same happens to Cole, but even beyond the quality of his music, I think this time we really appreciate what J. Cole does for hip-hop. He's a dude that genuinely cares for the culture, and he seems to be linking up with all types of young artists, giving them advice, as well as still showing love to legends of hip-hop. And because of that, I think the J. Cole hate needs to stop, especially because a lot of you hate on J. Cole based on narratives. Or I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
That's the video. You feel me? Yeah, man. Let me know what y'all think, bro. Let me know what is your favorite J. Cole song of all time. But and also like if you don't like J. Cole and you don't jack him, comment down below and tell me why you don't jack with him. So okay, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. Wherever you're checking out, you are.